What's up, y'all? Today's video is a follow-up video to last week's about poison ivy. So we'll cover a couple of different things. We'll talk a little bit more about how to ID it, some common myths, and then we'll go into a little bit of medical treatment, and then not to do. Don't do some of this. Coming up right now. First point is, let's talk about identification of poison ivy. It's not even trash day. Why is there a trash truck going out? Yeah, what's up, y'all? Leaves of 3, let them be. Don't wipe your ass. No, seriously, don't. Leaves of 3, let them be. And what this is going to mean is you've got ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. All right, 1, 2, 3 leaves going on with poison ivy, and they're in these tight little 3-leaf clusters all over the plant. All right, so 3, 3, 3, 3. But with that, those leaves, depending upon the age of the plant, whether it's a really young plant or it's very well established, it's several years old, they can be severely jagged, or they can be very just kind of soft lobes to it with maybe 1 or 2 points on each of those leaves. As that plant matures, it's going to develop these little berry clusters that look like severely undergrown, like tight grape clusters. Depending upon its age and depending upon what it's close to, it can either be a small ground plant, or it can be something that will vine up a tree. And not only will it vine up the tree, but then it'll start to kind of droop off of the tree. So if you're in an area that you have seen multiple points of poison ivy out there, just be aware that it may not be just on the ground. It may be something that is hanging off the trees, depending upon, again, its age. That's typically going to be from an older poison ivy plant. It's a little bit harder to identify it in the winter time. But the only thing that you might be able to would be if there are any residual berry clusters hanging on to a more established plant. Beyond that, it's going to look like a little stick poking up out of the ground if it's one of the juveniles. One of the more mature plants might look, especially if it's in that vine stage, crawling up a tree, might have these little hairs coming off of the vine. They're attaching itself to a tree. So in the event that you see something like that, and then that vine goes all the way down to the ground, just avoid it. I mean, I've seen some poison ivy that's so thick and old. I mean, it's not that game. No, it's like, all right, just no. So let's talk a little bit about what to know about poison ivy. First off, the oil that is excreted from poison ivy that's on the stem, it's on the leaves, is called Urushiol. I will put that somewhere here or here or here somewhere. So that is the actual oil that is excreted from it, and it is going to bond to your skin in about 15 to 20 minutes. So best thing to do if you think you've come into contact with poison ivy, try to get somewhere to where you can wash with lots and lots of cool water, using a mild detergent. So you can use dish soap will work out. If you have access to like colloidal oatmeal soap, you can use that as well, and that will help to dry out that oil that's on your skin and prevent dryness really kind of elsewhere. There's a buffalo on that side of the truck. Why is there a buffalo on the side of the truck? Are they crushing up buffalo in the trash truck? Does it run like a buffalo? I'm very confused. Right, so you got about 15-20 minutes to wash that, get that oil off of your skin. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have a reaction. It just means that you will lessen the amount of that oil that gets soaked into your skin, and hopefully will lessen the severity of that reaction. And then hopefully lessen those smaller bits that get on your skin. So you can have like a really big patch that gets on your skin here, and maybe you just had like a few leaves that brushed up further down. But this is going to appear first, and these might appear like a day or two later. So speaking of which, poison ivy typically will show up the rash, blisters, and then subsequently oozing or weeping of those blisters. Symptoms will start to appear in about 24 to 72 hours. How it manifests for me is it just feels, I don't know, just like an achy muscle at first, and then it's not until I start to see little dots of the rash appear that it becomes demon itchy. I mean, like you want to rip your skin off. So don't do that because you have bacteria underneath your fingernails. That's not bacteria, by the way. That's blood, dried blood. I did that. I don't even remember how. Not blood. What am I talking about? Don't scratch. Don't scratch. Because you have bacteria underneath your fingernails. If you have that open wound and you start scratching, you can then infect that wound just from scratching it. So don't scratch. Oh, fuck that. That's a big motherfucker. I don't know what that is. A big old bug like that big. If you want to relieve some of that itching, what you can do is you can go to your local pharmacy, Walgreens, CVS, whatever is nearby to you. But what you want to do is you want to pick up calamine lotion. Sometimes it comes in a clear version. Sometimes you get the version that like goes on like you just put like paste or flour powder. I don't know, flour powder. What the hell is flour powder? Anyway, so it looks calamine lotion. Put that stuff on there. That will help to alleviate some of that itchiness that you get. You can always pop a Benadryl as well. And then the other thing that you can do that I found that works for me is if it's somewhere on my legs and I've got to go to work or I know I've got to be doing something, what I'll do is I'll put on a second skin type material. So like you can put on like Under Armour or tights, leggings, something that is going to basically help your pants or your jeans kind of slip over that and not rub on it and create as much itchiness. But that's what I found works for me. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not. Nobody has ever said not to, but it's just something that works for me and prevents me from scratching it, and anything that prevents you from scratching it and then getting it infected, in my book, is a good thing. Just make sure that whenever you get home at the end of the day, like you're letting things air out that need to air out. So there are a couple of instances when you do need to seek medical attention. And that list is if you're running a fever of 100 degrees or higher, you need to see a doctor. If you have itchiness that is so bad that you cannot sleep at night, you cannot function normally, and you've tried some of these other things such as using calamine lotion, go see a doctor, because that if you can't function properly, your body can't heal properly. Something else is if it is over a huge portion of your body, if it's on your face, near your eyes, near your bits, for ladies, everywhere, all those areas, those sensitive areas, call a doctor. Go see a doctor. If you are having swelling that is preventing you from breathing normally, you're having throat swelling or you're having something of that nature, if you are anywhere past just a normal level of discomfort, go see a doctor. If you are not sure if your comfort level is, or your discomfort level is where I guess normal is for this, consult a doctor. When in doubt, see a doctor. Consult a doctor. They have all those tele-nurse things out there now. You see a nurse, like this. Use those things. Show them what's going on. Talk to them about what's going on. And if you need to go in, then go in. But in either case, take care of yourself. Let's talk about some common myths that you might hear around poison ivy. One is that it is infectious. It's not infectious. Once that stuff binds to your skin, that's it. Like, you can literally, rub up against somebody, and they're not going to be getting it. Once you get past that 15, 20 minutes, if you want to wait 30 minutes, then fine. You're not going to feel in the mood anyway. But if you want to wait that little bit, go ahead. But here's the thing is that once it binds to your skin, it is like chemically bound to your skin. Similar to if you get like super glue on your skin, there's next to nothing that is taking that stuff off. Or if you get, what would be a good thing? If you get stain on your skin or lacquer on your skin, that stuff is next to impossible to come off. It is bound on your skin after, probably about 15, 20 minutes. Poison ivy is the same way. So you cannot give it to somebody else once you are starting to display symptoms. Now, nobody wants to be around somebody that's got like oozy coming out of their body and stuff. So I get that. But, again, you cannot get somebody else infected. I heard this probably 25 years ago. The cure is somewhere right next to the plant. What the fuck? No, it's not. If it was, nobody would get poison ivy. Here's another one. I'm immune. No, I'm sorry, but you're not. You are not immune. Most people, I believe it is 85% of the population, has some degree of reaction to poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, all of which have that Urushiol chemical. But no, you are not immune. Odds are you brushed up against it once, or you came into contact with it once, and your first time didn't elicit a reaction. Same thing with people that have shellfish allergies. They may eat it for years, and they may not realize it, but they do actually end up having maybe a little bit of a reaction, until one day they just turn carrot orange. I'm talking to you, Dad. Don't eat shrimp if you are allergic. Okay, but yes, it's the same thing. Your body basically builds up that toxin in the system, and eventually it says, nope, I can't do it anymore. I can't deal with it, and that's when you start having more severe reactions than what you had in the past, or you begin to have reaction. For some people, that could be they may have a reaction on the first time. Other people might have it on the second. And there are people that I know that still have yet to have a reaction, and they're in the later years of their life. The point is even if you think you're immune and you've come into contact with it, you have come into contact with it multiple times, just don't chance it. If you know how to identify it, avoid it in the backcountry, because the worst thing that you want to have happen is be dealing with a poison ivy rash while you're out there. All right, and here's one of the last myths you may have heard. It's dead. I can safely touch it. Just because it's dead doesn't mean that the oils are no longer present in the plant. The oils are still present. You've just killed the growth of that plant, but all the oils are still there. So you can still have a reaction by touching a dead poison ivy plant. They've got poison ivy killers and all that stuff out there. So it's still possible to get year round and after that plant is dead. All right, and lastly, this section is called not to do. Don't do this. 1. Do not ever burn poison ivy. Because again, those oils, when you burn them, are going to be released, and if you are downwind from that and you're inhaling that smoke, or you're getting that smoke on your body, again, you're getting that oil, and what does that stuff do? It causes a rash, it causes inflammation. You're breathing that in, that can turn into a life-threatening situation. So do not try to burn poison ivy to dispose of it. Do not just leave your tools dirty, because those oils, again, are going to be on those tools when you're removing it. And if you leave them on there, you're going to throw them into a shed, and you're going to go use them, a week, 2 weeks, months, maybe next season later. And if you didn't clean that tool with soap or with rubbing alcohol, all of that oil, it will have spread onto the handle of it, or it's going to spread to other items that it's touching. So just clean your tools. Clean your tools. Which leads me into my next thing. Please don't rub it on yourself to prove that you are immune. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Alright, y'all. Thanks for watching today's video. If you like this content and want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. Is that even in the right order? So you'll be updated when new videos hit. If you have any questions, further questions about poison ivy and some of the other stuff that we talked about in today's video, go ahead, comment in the comment section. And with that, always be a student and steward of the outdoors, and I'll see you out on trail.